Come inside.
Hello, good evening, and a happy Halloween Eve. I'm Dr. Tom B. Stone, and I will be your host for Spookaroonies. Tonight's film is a classic 1968 black and white, directed by George Romero, full of zombies and the undead. So let's get right to it. Our 96 minutes of unrelenting terror in The Night of the Living Dead. Whoa.
That wasn't bad at all. Except we had to have it on.
Good evening. I am Dr. Tom B. Stone, your host for Spookaroonies. Tonight, we've got a show of the undead, full of zombies and many, many scary things. So without further ado, let's get to our film, The Night of the Living Dead. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You rolling? Go.
This little black and white 1968 classic gem scared the heck out of me. It was in 1968 when the film debuted at the Tivoli Theater just off of the north side of the Courthouse Square. So let's get back to our zombie movie, and be sure to lock your doors and leave a light on. And what's that I see behind you?
Okay, we're good. That one did good. I like that.
Okay.
So what's that I see behind what I saw behind you? I like that.
What's that?
What's that I see behind you? I like. Okay.
Are we running out of time or something?
We're gonna go ahead and. Is your tape rolling? Yeah, okay, whenever you're ready.
When we come back, a brief lesson on pumpkin carving and the history of Halloween. Stay tuned if you dare.
Clear. Good. This is going pretty quick. Not bad at all.
Okay, here's the zombies. Without a doubt, the most symbolic part of Halloween would be the jack-o'-lantern. This was a tradition that was brought to America by the Celts, and up until the late 1800s, Halloween was not really celebrated in America. The Celts brought the tradition along with them, And basically how they handled that was they would hollow out turnips and gourds and put a lump of burning coal inside. And that was to celebrate what was known as Samhain, which was basically the forerunner of our Halloween. Now we carve the pumpkins and replace the lump of burning coal with a candle. Okay.
Is that good for that?
I had some more,
Okay, so
but
we'll redo it. Yeah, because you got to say something after that if you're done with it. You got to say, like, now back to the movie. Or
I just thought.
So, let's run that back and try it again. Okay, he'll edit.
Okay.
Together, I guess.
1 second. Beginning at dusk on October the 31st and running until dusk again on November the 1st, people would honor their dead with this Samhain holiday, and the veil between reality and the spiritual world was the thinnest at this point in time, and this is also known as the Witch's New Year. So, without much delay, let's get right back to our zombie fest with the Night of the Living Dead.
Good? You want to do lightning this next thing?
Yeah, we could do some lightning.
We're going to do a little lightning on this one, so I'm going to be back and forth. You got to figure out how the hell I'm going to do it.
Okay, now I'm going to do a little something.
Coming on, and I'm going to go back and do some lightning. Tell me when you're ready.
All of these zombies are even giving old Dr. Tom the creeps. Just exactly what is a zombie and what types of zombies are there, you might ask? Well, a zombie is any corpse that has been reanimated. And there are different types of zombies, and I just happen to have something here. And the one type, this is the scariest but most common, the kind we're viewing here tonight in our film, it's known as the toxic zombie. They're usually brought back by radiation or chemicals. They're usually flesh-eating. We have those bad boys here tonight. And a lot of times the government will have something to do with these. Watch out for trucks going through your town with barrels of radioactive chemicals on the back or something like that. Could cause a real problem. There are demon zombies. Now, these demon zombies are reanimated by a demon, devil, or any kind of another spirit. If you've seen the movie Evil Dead trilogy, classic demon zombie. Voodoo or black magic zombies, they're brought back by a voodoo master. They can be pretty creepy at times. I've had to deal with a couple of those. There are disease zombies, which are brought on by infections and viruses and things. I don't know how they affect a corpse. I don't know. Don't ask me that. And then there are, of course, your alien zombies, which are brought back by aliens. And techno zombies, which are reanimated by technology. A movie example of that would be Deadly Friend. Anyhow, all this zombie talk is creeping me out again. Let's get back and watch the Night of the Living Dead.
Not bad.
Okay, this will be our last one. If we're a little short on time, we can roll the credits in the movie.
How long do you think this? Don't hurry or anything. It's not a big deal. All right. Lights on.
What an ending, I'll tell you. All of the struggling and all of the misadventures of poor Ben to be shot between the eyes and thrown on the burn pile. And speaking of burning, Next week, we're going to delve into the world of witches. That's right. And we're going to go to a little town up in the New England area known as Whitewood, and we're going to see some real witches. And until then, I would like to tell all of my viewers to meet me back here next week, 9:30 till 11:30 for Spookaroonies. So long for now, and bye-bye. I was going to say so long from the Spookaroonies crypt and stuff, but I'm just a little nervous. It'll get better.
Yeah. The whole bye-bye thing is kind of funny.
Oh, let me get these papers off of here. We'll just do this first segment, okay? And then, okay. I won't keep it rolling.
Oh, yeah. All of this first segment, that's also where I do this.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Now, how am I going to mosey my ass from here turning this light on over there to move that camera and zoom it in? It's like at the end of the thing, but you're going to have to fade to that camera for a few seconds at least so I can get across here after I turn this light on. The audio cue is Christopher Lee starring.
Christopher Lee stars.
Christopher Lee stars. Like right after he comes in and we flip this light on, you have to fade to that one until I can get past this. Because I'm going to be walking right in front of this camera.
I tell you what.
To this opposite one, the higher left angle.
I'll say good evening and welcome to Spookaroonies, and then fade to that other camera, and I'll look over there and say I'm Dr. Tom B. Stone, and Josh can cross.
Yeah. Just so I have enough time to get from here after the light's on to there. We got it. Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, hold it. We got to light the candles.
Well, hot damn, we can't forget to light the candles.
Can you hear it? All right.
Now, are you going to be able to pick me up talking? Let's hope not. I'll just have to keep my talking.
Okay. Ready? Holler when. Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm Dr. Tom B. Stone, and I will be guiding you through our horror fest here from the crypt tonight.
You gotta look here.
Ah.
Because I'm going in front of this.
I forgot. Okay, right after Spookaroonies, I'd look over. Okay.
We need to do that open again anyway.
Yeah.
Make sure you grab that thing before I turn the light on.
I know it. I think I'll just take it with me.
Leave it right by the skull, and then your hat on top of the skull. I like that little hat on top of the skull deal. That looks pretty cool.
Okay. Welcome to Check 1, 2. Check. All right, hang on a second. Let me move it a little bit. Flip that light on, will you? That ought to work better. Okay.
Okay, let's do it again. Oh, we had more case on this than we had on any of them last week.
Doc. Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I am Dr. Tom B. Stone, and will be guiding you through our horror fest here. Shit. Jeez, I can't believe it. Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm Dr. Tom B. Stone, and will be guiding you through our horror fest here in the crypt tonight.
That can't. When'd you go to that?
Spookaroonies. Oh,
Spookaroonies. Look there. I even pointed over there.
I can't see shit though. All right, on.
Hey, Rodney, whenever you come out and take off the hat.
Jesus.
We're cursed. Son of a bitch.
Hey, Jeremy.
The gel fell off.
Hey, there is, you're supposed to call Jason Reagan at the Herald when you're done. They want to do a whole feature on you.
Yeah.
So you want to put it in your pocket.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah, this is his cell phone number.
Huh. We're going to have to practice up a bit.
You should have seen it. He forgot to look at the camera over here 3 times so I can cut in front of this one and we're on that one. And then he finally walks out, and before we even get started, okay.
Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm Dr. Tom B. Stone, and I will be guiding you through our horror fest here in the crypt tonight. I have selected a fine film for us this evening. It's a top-shelf selection from 1960, a well-done atmospheric movie about a young witchcraft student. The student visits a small Massachusetts town. The town has historic ties to witch burnings, and there he discovers a new and deadly coven is now active, and the fun begins. So don't let the beginning throw you off. It's a quick bit of history, complete with a nice little witch roast. Christopher Lee stars. Dim the lights, lock your doors, and savor this one.
Good.
Yeah. Don't forget to send any questions or comments to the old doctor himself. And any...
My God, we could have a killer.
Oh, good God. Sorry. All right. You ready? Don't forget to send any questions or comments to old Dr. Tom at my website, or you can mail them right here to the station. Thanks.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
but that thanks was kind of another...
Once again...
moment.
Okay. Once again, email or write me a letter here at the station, and you may just win a really cool prize. We have some really nice DVDs from Universal Studios, some still artwork, and just all sorts of neat things that you might like. So drop us a line, write an email, and you just may win. Now,
Okay, I'm sorry, but that whole, what the fuck did he say? Thanks? Thanks.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We need to redo that one.
Which one?
No, leave it. You gotta leave it.
They used to be pissed. Why? Because she wanted that cut out last time. Like, she wanted bye-bye cut out and, like, wanted us to reshoot that. And I'm the one who's going to catch all the flack for it.
I heard Jeremy in there laughing.
They don't let you us.
Okay, you don't get that. Do camera work. I'll do graphics and nothing else if you don't bring the DVD ROM drive back.
Okay, I'm going to read this part down here to Ancestors, Imaginations, and Fears. And then I'll say we'll be right back with one of my personal favorite witch tales, whatever. Okay.
Don't forget your hat.
Okay, let me find my starting point here. Okay. We'll start out with all those crazy old witches. Okay, are we ready?
You want to do a little two-camera on this? Just for, let's find a place in
Just
here.
for effects.
Well, whenever I say, when we come back, I'll look at that camera.
Okay. You hear that? When we come back is his cue. He's going to switch to this camera. Okay?
Oh, those crazy old witches. You know, oh, those crazy old witches. You know, we have lots of local lores and tales of witchcraft right here in southern Indiana. Most of these tales have been handed down through the years, and, well, they were pretty much a product of the fears and imaginations of our ancestors. But when we come back, I will tell you one of old Doc Stone's personal favorite tales that comes right here from this area, and it is supposedly true. We'll see you then.
We'll see you. The cheese ball thing is just overtaking.
The natural cheese ball's coming out. I don't know.
I think it's good though. I like it.
Man, it makes so it's a little less scary, I think, which would be good for
It's getting a little 50s retro almost. Okay.
See you then.
Are we ready? We're just going to do one camera for this one. I'm going to tell a ghost story here.
How long is it?
About 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Son of a bitch. We need to go two camera on that a couple different times then.
Okay, let me look through it real quick here.
Right there.
At morning.
Right after morning, we switch.
After morning,
And then there. Thereafter, we'll switch back. Morning is the first one, thereafter is the second. Start here, go here.
Ready? Okay, as promised, one of my favorite old ghost stories or witch tales comes from southern Indiana here, specifically a fellow that lived in Du Bois, Indiana. And the way this tale starts, he had been waking up at night short of breath. He would feel as though he were choking, and this problem persisted for a couple of weeks. And finally, he was found dead in bed one morning. Well, his wife had suspected that a spell or hex had been cast upon him by a local woman that was thought to be a witch. When the dead man's wife confronted the suspected witch, she was told that she would die just as her husband had. And, as you might guess, surely enough, she also died of suffocation shortly thereafter. Now, the children of the deceased did not believe in any of this witch talk and thought it was probably, some disease. And therefore, they wanted to burn their clothing as well as all of their bed clothing. And when the pillows were burned, inside each, the feathers were tightly intertwined and wound into a circular wreath. As the feathers would themselves work their way into this wreath, the choking would begin. When the circle of feathers finally became complete, so did the hex, and the poor old soul would strangle. Now, when you lie down to sleep tonight, pay close attention to any little sounds you may hear coming from within your pillow. This could be a version of spell check for you. You will know if a witch has cast a spell upon you, and if you do hear that, I would get rid of that pillow. We'll be back.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty clever.
Okay. We've got some...
Oh, here comes my on-camera debut.
I got to douse off a minute. Forgetting which way to roll this, and I roll it backward, and then I get all screwed up. Tell me when. I have an email here from a viewer who has some...
Hang on. If we're going to do that, you're just going to have to, say, welcome back or something, and then I'll come do my strolling in, because you can't say, I have an email here, and then have me come in and, say, here's an email, master. If you don't want me to talk...
I'll say, I'd like to read an email. And then, what's your name?
Don't
Fritz?
give me a name. I'm going to be a dark figure. I'm just going to, walk it out to you like I'm one of your servants.
Okay.
Make my character gay.
Oh, the gay ghoul?
Yeah, the gay ghoul, and then when I leave, I smack you on the ass or something.
Oh, good God.
Okay.
All right, what are we going to say now? I'd like to read an email from a viewer.
Say, welcome back. I'd like to read an email from a viewer, and then I just kind of...
Okay.
Should we let's throw that shit out.
No, come on. It looks good.
I don't know the way to bring it in, though, with the words, because I have an email here. That doesn't sound right for, when I'm bringing it out to you. Or I want to read an email.
How about let me read you an email?
How do we want to say this, Judd?
Welcome back. And now let's go to some email questions from our viewers. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we've got a few questions here. The first one, do witches worship the devil? Now, it seems like in our movie, They did worship the devil, doesn't it? But, as we know, it's just Hollywood. The answer, no. The concept of the devil as a supreme spirit of evil and unrighteousness is a creation of Middle Eastern thought. Worship of this being as Satan is a practice of profanic Christian symbolism and is a Christian heresy rather than a pagan religion. The gods of Wicca are in no way concerned with satanic practice. Most witches do not even believe Satan exists and certainly do not worship him. Historically, the gods of an older religion are often branded as the devils of a newer one in order to promote conversion. Let's see. Well, I hope that answers your question. Are witches only women? Well, no. But in this country, women do predominate the craft overall. In Britain, men predominate. Some traditions have only women practitioners, just as some have only men. Most traditions, however, do admit both. Men are also called witches, and most take exception to being called warlocks. No, witches do not have a Bible either. Cut that.
Okay, we got 2 in. And then you just got to read the other 2.
Okay. All right, our next question here. Do witches have a Bible? No. A Bible is supposedly the worship or the word of a fallen off gel.
Of a falling off gel. Son of a bitch. There's got to be a better way.
All right, our next question. Do witches have a Bible? No. A Bible is supposedly the word of a deity revealed through a prophet. Witchcraft is a pagan folk religion of personal experience rather than transmitted revelation. A witch may keep a book of shadows, which is more like an individual's workbook or journal. It's meaningful to the person who keeps it. It contains rituals or discoveries and spells and poetry and herb lore and things like that, but there is no Bible. And there is no one document taken by all Wiccans as authoritative as is in many other religions. And let's see here. What else do we have? Do witches cast spells? Well, very interesting. Some do and some don't. Since a commonly held belief is that what is sent out is returned to the sender threefold, witches tend to be very careful with spells. So, a witch would not, in general, want to cast a bad spell out to someone, an enemy, or what have you, because the witch would know that that's probably going to come back to them threefold. And I'd like to thank my viewers for sending in these questions. They were great questions. And please send some more in for next week's episode. Okay.
What do we have next?
Some of that stuff, Jeremy, I guess we can just split up. All right. Well, it looks like those crazy old witches got what they deserved. That was a fine film. One of my personal favorites. I don't know why, but I just love that old film. All of these witches and late night horror is starting to creep the old doctor out, and I think I'll head back to the coffin and take a rest until next week. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you right here next week whenever we have one more Spookaroonie. I hope you can take it. No. Want me to? Okay. Do you want me to say that whole thing again?
Okay. Do you want me to, kick the light down and have them walk out. It's like you came in, set your skull back down, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Well, those crazy old witches, they got what they deserved in the end. That just happens to be one of my favorite little gems there. An old 1960 classic black and white. They just, to me, they don't get much better than that. All this talk of spooks and witches and death and everything is kind of creeping the old doc out and wearing me down. So I think I'll crawl back into the coffin, and I will see you next week right back here at the crypt at 9:30. And we will enjoy another Spookaroonie. So, until then. Yeah.
If I'm going to do camera.
Can you scroll?
Just kind of click it down, I guess, because there is no scroll bar in the middle. We really need one of those to pick a different mouse up, but I may have to restart the computer then. Take it all the way up to the top. I'm kidding.
Okay. Which camera are we going to start out with? This one? Okay. So I'll be looking at there. Good evening and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm Dr. Tom B. Stone. We'll be here to help you through tonight. Make it through tonight's bitter little pill. Might as well.
So turn that off. That light down there that's off. The switch is hanging on.
It's hanging on that boom, that silver stand, if you can just reach it. I'll come in, put the hat on, then you can put
What the hell is this?
a spooky hand. No, my daughter found that. She said, Dad, put that on your show. All right.
You ready? Ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
And break.
Good evening and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and I'll be here to help you make it through tonight's bitter little pill entitled The Screaming Skull. We got
What?
I think you may have put a shadow on his face.
Yeah.
Okay, and then whenever I say welcome to Spookaroonies, you can get the poll ready because I'll say.
I was going to say, do you want, every time you say Screaming Skull,
When we started out, yeah, because there's only like a couple right here, but in the segments, we'll run her through about once. And, Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and I'll be here this evening to help guide you through tonight's bitter little pill entitled The Screaming Skull. Huh. It's a macabre little shocker about a newlywed man's biological scheme. Gotcha. All right, I'll start that back over. It's a macabre little shocker. It's a macabre little shocker about a newlywed man's diabolical scheme to drive his unstable and crazy wife even more insane and gain her fortune. Sounds like a plan to me. But now, we'll switch. Fuck.
you can't say that on TV. You can say that F word.
I don't think that's allowed to go over the air, but man, we're gonna have some.
Be careful with mine.
Oh shoot! What's going on?
Operating the floating skull.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little small.
Okay, I'll crank it up to 7Q then.
Okay.
You guys get older, you'll understand.
Yeah, no shit.
Just getting soaked and trying to work. Did you, Joe, have any pay dirt today?
Hat off.
Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and we'll be here to help you through tonight's bitter little pill entitled The Screaming Skull. It is a macabre little shocker about a newlywed man's diabolical scheme to drive his unstable wife insane and gain her fortune. Okay.
That was too good to resist. We're going to have enough losers before we get this first segment done.
All right.
I'm loving it.
All right, I had to do it once, get it out of the way.
Huh?
You know, I like to hang around and see you finish one, but I don't think I'm staying here till.
Oh shit.
I know.
He wants the blooper at the end of the tape. Okay.
The skull kept getting closer on you.
Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I am your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and we'll be here to help you make it through tonight's bitter little pill entitled The Screaming Skull. Well, it's a macabre little shocker about a newlywed man's diabolical scheme to drive his unstable wife insane and gain her fortune. Sounds like a fine plan to me. Kill the cow and switch from milk to champagne. The lengths that some people will go to drive their spouse insane is pretty much nothing short of purely amazing. I think you people know who you are. Okay, enough bantering. Let's get right to the Screaming Skull.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, we made it through that segment.
You can almost float that fucker in there.
Okay.
You want me to just have it constantly flying back and forth while you're talking, or just every once in a while?
Just every once in a
It
while.
only comes up twice in that first segment, and the rest of it's kind of few and far between as far as that goes.
Yeah. And whenever you hear screaming...
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I wish I remembered that.
Yeah, well, whenever you hear Screaming Skull, you can go ahead and stick it in and be late. That's fine. You know, that can even be your cue, and we'll work it from there. Okay.
You want to do that one more time, Jeremy? Huh? We ought to, because we had the Screaming Skull that didn't scream.
Yeah.
Not yet, but we're going to do that after. But he didn't float the head in after that last time when he said it. So it can't very well scream if it's not there.
Yeah, we're doing it over.
Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and I will be here with you tonight to guide you through this bitter little pill entitled The Screaming Skull. Place is haunted. It's a macabre little shocker about a newlywed man's diabolical scheme to drive his unstable wife insane and to gain her fortune. And that sounds like a plan to me. Kill off the cow and switch from milk to champagne. The lengths that some people will go to in order to drive their spouse insane is nothing short of pure horror. I think you people know who you are. Well, anyhow, enough bantering. Let's get right to the Screaming Skull. We had some good cheese ball factor in that one. I'm not saying me, I'm saying the whole damn thing with the skull.
Okay.
He what?
He's put me in the special effects.
Ah.
A little more after what's on the screen. There's a pause in there, so we can get the websites up.
Okay, are we ready? Okay. To get your episodes of Spookaroonies or any of your favorite movies, visit my website. It should be right in here somewhere. You'll see it. We'll be right back.
You'll see it. That's outstanding.
Oh, shit.
Now, hey, Josh, whenever you go to put that on there, if you keep moving it around while he's...
Yeah.
You should be...
Oh, that. That's good. We got it.
Down a little bit.
No, while you're hitting...
I would make that pause just a little longer, too. Like
Okay.
7 or 8.
To get your episodes of Spookaroonies or any of your favorite movies, visit my website. Okay. And then that's when it's going to be up right here.
Yeah, like as soon as you get done saying that, it'll flash up, and then give it 7 seconds or so.
Where's it going to be? Like, where's it going to be on the screen? Like, if it was going to run right across his face, he'd have him kind of...
Yeah, like,
I don't know how to hear me.
Okay, are we ready? To get your episodes of Spookaroonies or any of your other favorite horror movies, visit my website. It should be right in here somewhere. We'll be right back. Okay. Oh, we got to now back to the screaming skull at the end of this.
Uh-oh. Get ready, John.
Time out. Game on.
Good deal. Free practice.
Attaboy, Judd.
You're getting paid for this, Jeremy, remember.
Okay. It comes right about at the end. If you're ever not in the 27 WJTS viewing area and you need a good old Saturday night dose of the doc, well, once again, just come to my website and watch Spookaroonies anywhere you might be in the world. Any military personnel that might want to email me may do so, and I'll read your message on the air. And be sure to watch Spookaroonies every Saturday night right here on WJTS, no matter where you might find yourself. Now, back to the Screaming Skull. I got a little close. It's all right.
Something else in there?
What?
Fishing pole was in the shot.
Where at? All right.
Okay, you want me up closer here to the desk? Would it be easier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold higher.
Yeah. And you can get it around behind me a little
Watch
easier.
that fucking light. You can see him smacking the light.
Take a light down.
Ready? If you're ever not in the 27 WJTS viewing area and you need a Saturday night dose of the old doc, once again, go to my website and watch Spookaroonies anywhere you might be in the world. Any military personnel that want to email me, why, do so and I'll read your message on the show. Be sure to watch Spookaroonies every Saturday night, no matter where you might find yourself. Now, back to the Screaming Skull. Ha 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 ha. I almost had to laugh because I could feel that skull breathing on me almost. It was just right back here.
Okay, read through. Tyler, check through this next part. Make sure there's nothing screaming skull-wise so we know whether he has to be up here.
A live skull. Okay. Now this one here, I won't say anything about, I don't think, Screaming Skull.
We'll be right back. Okay,
Yeah.
nothing in this section.
But you can just hover it behind my head a second if you like, because I'm going to say a Screaming Skull to the alive skull. Okay. A live skull. How cheesy. Perfect.
You're supposed to say the whole damn thing, David.
Well, I thought, well, what? A cheese ball.
End up falling off. Yeah.
You guys, I'm telling you.
Fallen Jill.
Yeah. The first falling Jill's back. That was fucking just for the hell of it.
How cheesy. Okay.
Fix the head.
Yeah, you need to say that. That lady that always calls you that would appreciate that. Don't you think?
I can.
I wrote it in there because it sounded kind of good to me. Because she's always commenting on you about that. She'd crack up if you use that in the show.
All right, we can do it. We can leave it in.
I didn't think it was that bad, right?
Oh, it's not at all. Whenever I saw it, I thought, wait, something screwed up here. I thought we skipped a page or something. Okay. A live skull. How cheesy. Perfect for a cheese ball like me. No one would ever believe that a skull could move or do anything like that, let alone make any sort of sounds. So, what was this writer John Knable thinking? I don't know. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with our movie.
That was good how you got really low when you said that. You're like, perfect for a cheese ball.
Okay.
And then I like that too when you paused after, let alone make any sounds.
Okay, enough of this goofy skull stuff. Let's get right back to our movie and get it a little bit closer to being over with. Ah, my little friend Dwight. The poor fly got all caught up in a nasty old spider web. Back to our movie. Okay, that's Dwight's break. Okay. Back to. Oh, okay. And then I'll say back to, and I'll go like this, because, I'm kind of leery now of that screaming skull coming through. So I'll say back to, well, you know the name of it.
Are you rolling, Jeff? Listening.
Okay.
We're on the side camera.
Yeah, side camera. You're in good right there. Look down just a little bit.
Looks like the skull's shaking his head no. This ain't fucking working, he's saying. Okay. Okay.
Ready, Judd? Okay. We're good.
Damn, there's a bunch of that. Okay. Can you roll it up a little bit? Okay. Back to, you know the name of it. Eat shit. Fuckers. Okay. Okay, back to, well, you know the name of it. Okay. Same camera?
You have the white on this one.
It's getting close.
It is. Hang on. Blah, blah, blah. This is you and conversation, then now back to the screaming skull, and then the close. So you got 3 more to do.
Okay. Okay. Next week we will watch a movie that will be much better. Next week we will watch a much better movie, much better than we've had here this evening. All this screaming in the old crypt is giving me a headache, and hey, here comes a spider! You little son of a... Do it again.
Do it again.
More of a pause in between those.
Next week we will watch a movie that will be much better. All this screaming going on here in the crypt is giving old Doc a headache. And hey, look, here comes a spider. Yeah, you little. Okay. Okay, this one will be short and sweet. I'm just going to say now back to the screaming skull. Okay?
Yeah, it's very short.
Very short. It's just now back to the screaming skull. Which camera? Okay. And now, back to the... Huh?
You're standing in the shot.
Oh. It's coming from right there. You got just your hand a little bit in front of it. I'll kind of come over here toward you, make it a little easier. Okay. Ready? And now, back to the screaming skull. Ha ha ha. I don't know. Okay. What's our next one?
This is the close. Well, I hope you have enjoyed blah, blah, blah.
Okay, you're done. Yeah.
He's going to look around trying to see.
Go on, Jed.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed. Hang on. I was going to say, I hope you've enjoyed the look. And I was like, oh, look around. Enjoyed the... Okay. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the the Skull movie. And, well, remember, skulls can't float or hover or anything like that. So we won't worry about the old skull much anymore. And, well, I just really fucked that up again. We are supposed to have the skull hovering. Sorry. This is it. Oh, man.
That was pretty fucking bad.
Okay. This is it. I believe you got it. Yeah. Okay. You can just kind of sit it back there anywhere you want it to move it just a little bit or something. Okay. Just watch so you don't get your arm in there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the well, the little flick we had here tonight about the skull thing. Remember, skulls can't float or hover behind a person.
Shut up. Damn it, John.
You forgot to roll the screen down too. I was out of line. Okay. Here we go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our little movie about the skull. And remember, skulls can't harm you. They can't float or hover or scream or anything like that. Nor do they do much of anything except just be a boring old skull. Hope you've enjoyed our little Scream Fest here tonight. And look for old Doc Tom Saturday night at 9:30 for a true classic. Remember, even a man who's pure at heart and says his prayers by night can become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. Happy hauntings. What? Yeah, let's do. Just tell me when you're ready and yep. I guess you'll be able to hear me in there, and then just don't go too fast. He's probably kind of. Don't you dare.
Oh man, I didn't type any of my usual little things in there. I should have put a few words in the next.
Uh-huh. Yeah, right. Hey now. What is that?
He didn't maximize it either.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Let's just start it. I got too much junk. Well, I can, but I got a lot of junk back here. Okay? Ready. Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and tonight we've got a classic thriller. It's a shocker reminiscent of those scary theater thrillers that always...
A little quicker there, John.
Okay. Ready? Good evening and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and tonight we have a classic black and white thriller. It's a shocker reminiscent of those scary theater thriller movies that always send chills up your spine. Vincent Price is at his best as a wealthy eccentric who throws an unusual party. He'll give his 5 guests each $10,000 if they will stay all night in his haunted house. Shit, I can't read it. Okay. If we pull this closer, will that be in the way? Can you pull it closer? I don't know what the hell's wrong here. I just can't read it. I must have. Yeah. All right. I'll just start back over. Good evening and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and tonight we have a classic black and white thriller. It's reminiscent of those scary films that we always would see in the theaters that would send chills up your spine. Vincent Price is at his best as a wealthy eccentric who throws an unusual party. He will give his 5 guests each $10,000 if they will stay in his house all night. This house is haunted by the ghosts of 7 people who have already been murdered there. Then he tries to kill them all before the morning. To add to the spirit of the atmosphere, he gives them each guns, loaded guns in little coffins as party favors. And he tries to kill his guests. His wife and her lover are trying to kill him while he's trying to kill the guests. It's stocked with all of the scenes you would expect to find in a classic thriller. We've got violent storms, secret passages. We've got blood dripping from the ceiling. We've got a decapitated head and a dancing skeleton. So be sure to get out the junk food, lock the doors, and don't turn out the lights. Prepare to be scared. Here's the house on Haunted Hill. I screwed that one part up, but the whole thing? Okay.
We ought to switch cameras once in the middle of that, because that's a long little blurb. Let's pick a spot in here. Scroll down something, John. Right there. Not that far, you smart ass. Go up to the one right before that, I think, maybe. Right there, right after spine, maybe.
Oh, say when I say Vincent Price, is that his best?
Like right after you say spine, just flip-flop cameras and start looking over here.
Okay.
I think that's about halfway in between, isn't it? No? Okay, go down to the bottom of the next one. Okay. Morning. After morning.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
leave
Will that still be highlighted? Okay.
Yeah, leave it highlighted.
Okay. I'll have the lines memorized here soon. Good evening, and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and tonight we will be watching another classic black and white thriller. Tonight's little shocker is reminiscent of those scary theater thriller films that used to send chills up and down our spines. Vincent Price is at his best as a... You got behind on me there and I lost it. We'll just start it again.
That's because Kurt stopped him in the middle of a phone call.
Oh, okay. All right. Good evening and welcome to Spookaroonies. I'm your host, Dr. Tom B. Stone, and tonight we'll be watching a classic black and white thriller. Tonight's shocker is reminiscent of those scary theater thriller films that always send a chill up your spine. Vincent Price is at his best as a unusual eccentric who throws a party, and he'll give his 5 guests each $10,000 if they will stay in his house all night. Haunted by the ghosts of 7 people who have already been murdered there, they will try to stay all night, and he will try to kill them before the morning. To add to the spirit of the adventure, he gives them all loaded guns in little coffins as party favors. As Vincent Price tries to kill his guests, his wife and her lover are trying to kill him. So this is stocked with all of the scenes you'd expect to find in a classic thriller. We've got violent storms, secret passages, blood dripping from the ceiling, and we've got a decapitated head and a dancing skeleton. So be sure to get out the junk food, lock the doors, and don't turn out the lights. Prepare to be scared. Here's the house on Haunted Hill. All right. Should I just go look in this one here for this part?
It's short little for the.
Yeah, they're short.
Go ahead and go to the
So we just got 10 of these little ones, I think. Okay. Well, the plot is beginning to develop a bit here. Old Watson Pritchard, you gotta love this guy. He reminds me of a 40-year-old Wally Cleaver that's been smacked around by life and somehow wound up drunk and demented at a snuff film party. All right, we'll do that again.
Yeah, I mean, we can't have laughing.
We can't have our scroller laughing.
Caught him off guard. I had to type it in, so I've had to read it like 5 times.
Oh,
So
shoot.
catch me off guard.
All right, you ready? All right. Well, the plot is beginning to develop a bit here. Old Watson Pritchard, you gotta love him. He reminds me of a 40-year-old Wally Cleaver that's been smacked around by life and somehow wound up drunk and demented at a snuff film party. Then there's the underlying postulate that the doors close at midnight and no one can get in or out after that. We have ghosts, liquor, firearms. I don't know about you, but it sounds like it might be fun to watch. Then we go to the commercial there. Let's get back to where we left off. Our psycho Wally Cleaver lookalike is taking us a tour of the haunted house.
Yeah, other camera.
Well, we've got blood dripping from the ceiling. I'm gay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I knew he'd type something.
I thought, what in the hell is that?
You could tell it was different because he didn't even have it in all. He did everything else. It's a lot more sneaky when you put it just like the rest of it.
Are we ready? All right. We've got blood dripping from the ceiling, an old woman from a freak show running loose in the house. We've got hanky-panky o'plenty and a psycho hitting the hard liquor. It sounds like a pretty typical night here in the crypt. So I say, let's jazz things up a bit, and we'll be right back. This one? Let's see what our eccentric millionaire friend can come up with now. Personally, I want to see radioactive spiders eat everyone's brain, but that's just me. These caretakers need to just be let go. They're just too scary to be running around in the house without a leash. I tell you. And now the doors are locked early, and everyone has a loaded weapon in their possession, and our psycho guy is staggering and talking ghost trash and getting all creepy. So, lovely Annabelle has supposedly hanged herself, and she was the best part of the movie. I don't know. Let's go back to the haunted house and see what's in store for our partygoers. Okay. Sorry to cut in here, boys and girls, but this is getting pretty scary. I thought you might need a little break here from all of the intense terror. So keep thinking, it's only a movie. It's only a movie. And flip on a light or two and go get a snack and change your underwear, and we'll be right back in about 90 seconds. hopefully you're clean, calm, and collected and ready for the grand finale. Let's find out who's behind this diabolical scheme and all of the goings-on. What an ugly little twist. Now I have a question. Do you think Annabelle was pushed into the vat of acid by the skeleton? Or did she, as Mr. Lawrence says, stumble and fall? Let's have another look at this, and I think we can incriminate Mr. Lauren here with our replay. So let's roll that back again and look at that. Yes, indeed. Mr. Lauren will be a guest of the penal system, so to speak, and have a wonderful roommate named Bubba instead of Annabelle. Good luck with all of that, Mr. Lauren, and we'll see you in 15 to 20. Well, once again, our evening of mayhem unfortunately draws to an end, but be absolutely sure to join me here next Saturday night at 9:30 for a very special episode of Spookaroonies. So from old Doc Tom, happy hauntings.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.